Hello friends, are you there? Can you hear me? Today we are going to have a discussion basically on UPSC previous year questions. Are you all there? So still we have got time. We have got around 4 minutes to 7 o'clock. Sharp 7 we would be starting. So today's topic is, as I had promised in my previous video, that I would discuss some of the UPSC previous year questions. Okay, so for that you all need to have a PDF of the previous year question which I have made, and if you have not got that PDF, then please take that PDF from my channel, Telegram channel, that is Niravda. The spelling is Niravda. Niravda, Niravda. So please get your PDFs ready. There are only just 10 questions which we are going to discuss, but the purpose of discussion is basically to understand the orientation in which we need to prepare economics. So still we have got 3 minutes, friends. I again request to you, if you don't have the PDF, it would not be very, you can say, fruitful session. So if you want this session to be a fruitful session, please get that PDF from Niravda channel, Telegram. Again, I would spell that channel for you. It is Niravda. So just get that PDF, and then we will start the discussion of the questions. And what I have done is I have tried to have a bouquet of, you can say, questions from different topics so that we could discuss some of the topics. So around 2 minutes you have got to get that PDF from the Telegram channel, that is Niravda, Niravda. So please get that. Yes, you have spelled it right on the comments. Please get it, you can say, from the Telegram channel so that we can start the discussion, and it would be a fruitful discussion. I am very happy to see you all. Good evening. How are you all? Let me again introduce myself. I am Niravda. I have been trying to help UPSC aspirants since the last 10 years, and basically I am based from Pune. So friends, last 1 minute before you get that PDF from the Telegram channel, and then we'll have to start. Have you all got the PDF? Have you all got the PDF for the session? Telegram name is Niravda. D for Delhi, A for Ahmedabad. Niravda. The channel name is N for New York, I for Indus River, R for Rajasthan, A for Ahmedabad, V for you can say Vietnam, and DA. So D for Delhi, A. Niravda. Yes, right. Somebody has written it right on the comments box. Okay, so it is 7 and we should start. So I'll just, you can say, type on the comment if you want, so that you can get it from there, right? So you can just see the comment. Okay, have you got it? Okay, so let us start. First question. Okay, please, even if you have not got the PDF, if you have got books, if you have got pen, just you can write down the first question. So economic growth, if you see the first question, then economic growth in country X will necessarily have to occur if. So they have said that economic growth एक country में अगर मतलब होने वाला है, तो कब होगा वो? एंड दिस क्वेश्चन हैज बीन आस्क्ड इन 2013. एज आई हैव टोल्ड यू माय फ्रेंड्स, व्हाट इज द स्ट्रैटेजी? द स्ट्रैटेजी फॉर इकोनॉमिक्स क्वेश्चन इज फर्स्ट, गेट योर कॉन्सेप्ट्स crystal clear. Second, if your concepts are crystal clear, my friends, automatically you will be able to apply those concepts. Applicability is going to be tested. And third thing, what is very, very important is, you can say, the trends. What have been the trend of GDP growth rate figures? What have been the trend of fiscal deficit? All these trends you should be knowing. So the first question, economic growth in country X will necessarily have to occur if. So the first option which has been given is, there is technical progress in the world economy. So क्या बात कर रहे हैं कि टेक्नोलॉजी का जो प्रोग्रेस हुआ है वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी में, अगर वो हुआ है तो, और वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी की बात कर रहे हैं, ओके. और कंट्री एक्स, तो क्वेश्चन में क्या बोला है? कंट्री एक्स के बारे में बोला है, और फर्स्ट ऑप्शन में क्या बताया जा रहा है? वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी में. तो ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है ना दोस्तों कि वर्ल्ड में अगर टेक्नोलॉजी बढ़ रहा है तो कंट्री एक्स ग्रो होगा ही. सो फर्स्ट हम ऐसे उसको रूल आउट कर सकते हैं, राइट. सेकेंड जो है ऑप्शन, देयर इज पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ इन एक्स. मतलब कंट्री एक्स के बारे में पूछा है, कंट्री एक्स में भाई जीडीपी इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ होगा, कब होगा, ये क्वेश्चन है. और ऑप्शन हमको क्या बता रहा है कि पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ हो रहा है कंट्री एक्स में. तो ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि अगर आपकी कंट्री में पॉपुलेशन ग्रोथ हो रहा है तो आपका इकोनॉमिक ग्रो होने ही वाला है. सो दिस ऑप्शन कैन नॉट बी ऑल्सो, वी कैन से इट इज करेक्ट. थर्ड ऑप्शन आपका अगर आप देख रहे हो तो देयर इज कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन इन कंट्री एक्स. कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन मतलब क्या है? नया नया इन्वेस्टमेंट आ रहा है. कैपिटल की परिभाषा क्या होती है? व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ कैपिटल माय फ्रेंड्स? वी से कैपिटलिज्म. व्हाट इज कैपिटल? कैपिटल इज बेसिकली द अमाउंट और द फंड्स व्हिच अ इन्वेस्टर ब्रिंग्स इनटू हिज बिजनेस, राइट? सो दैट इज कैपिटल. And what is the third option telling us? That there is capital formation in country X. मतलब more and more people are investing in country X, right? So this can be an option. So let us, you can say, प्रिज्यूम कि बाबा ये ऑप्शन हो सकता है, ये लाइकली आंसर है. बट फोर्थ वाला ऑप्शन भी हम पढ़ेंगे. सो व्हाट इज द फोर्थ ऑप्शन? द वॉल्यूम ऑफ ट्रेड इंक्रीजेज इन द वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी. सो अगेन क्वेश्चन क्या पूछ रहा है? कंट्री एक्स में ग्रोथ कब होगा? ऑप्शन डी क्या बता रहा है कि वॉल्यूम ऑफ ट्रेड, ट्रेड कहां पे बढ़ रहा है? वर्ल्ड में बढ़ रहा है. तो अगेन वर्ल्ड में ट्रेड बढ़ रहा है, उसका मतलब ऐसा तो नहीं बोल सकते हम कि एक्स में क्या हो रहा है? इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ हो रहा है. सो लास्ट ऑप्शन इज ऑल्सो एलिमिनेटेड. दैट इज वाई द ओनली ऑप्शन हियर विच रिमेन्स इज सी. What is the C option saying us? There is capital formation in X. It is a very important concept, friends. कि capital formation हुआ मतलब क्या हो गया? इन्वेस्टमेंट आएगा. इन्वेस्टमेंट मतलब इन्वेस्टमेंट जब आता है तब क्या होने वाला है? नए नए जॉब्स क्रिएट होंगे, नए नए फैक्ट्रीज लगेंगे, आपके जॉब्स क्रिएट होंगे. जॉब्स क्रिएट किया मतलब क्या होगा? लोगों के पास पैसा आएगा. लोगों के पास पैसा आया तो लोग क्या करेंगे? डिमांड बढ़ाएंगे. परचेसिंग पावर बढ़ जाएगा, इसके लिए डिमांड बढ़ेगा. डिमांड बढ़ा तो ज्यादा गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज सेल होंगे, ज्यादा गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज बनेंगे तो ग्रोथ और बढ़ जाएगा. इसके लिए इसका आंसर क्या होना चाहिए? द आंसर शुड बी, माय फ्रेंड्स, सी. व्हाट इज द, यू कैन से, सी ऑप्शन? Again, I'll read the question and then read the C option. Economic growth in a country X will necessarily have to occur if, यहां पे अभी ऑप्शन में पढ़ता हूं, there is capital formation in X. So everybody's understood the first one. Your concept has been, you can say, tested and a very straightforward. आपका elimination method भी आपने यूज किया हुआ है, थोड़ा लॉजिक भी लगाया हुआ है, कॉमन सेंस भी यूज किया हुआ है. एंड ये सब यूज करने के बाद आपका आंसर क्या बनता है? आपका आंसर बनता है, योर आंसर बिकम्स सी. ओके, नाउ लेट अस गो फॉर द सेकेंड वन. ओके, सो हियर व्हाट इज द कंसेप्ट बीइंग यूज्ड? आई हैव टोल्ड यू वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. मैंने आपको बताया था 5 पिलर्स है इकोनॉमी में, तो मैंने बताया था एक पिलर, वन पिलर, you get repeated questions. And what is that pillar you get that repeated questions from? It is the national income chapter, my friends. So national income के ऊपर आपको टेस्ट किया गया है. So let us just read what is the concept of national income. Okay, so before we even solve the question, you should know the difference between GDP and GNP. जीडीपी जो कंसेप्ट है वो डोमेस्टिक है, टेरिटोरियल है. मतलब एक टेरिटरी, आप कौन सा भी टेरिटरी डिफाइन कर दो, उसमें जो गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज प्रोड्यूस हो रहे हैं तो वो का उसका अगर आप मतलब उसका अगर गिनती कर रहे हो, इफ यू आर मेजरिंग द गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज प्रोड्यूस्ड इन वन टेरिटरी, इट बिकम्स जीडीपी. But whenever you are talking about gross national product, the concept there is not territory. The concept there is, you can say, citizenship. तो आपके जो citizens है, आपके जो nationals है, वो कितना प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं? तो वो इंडिया में भी रह के प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं और वो बाहर भी रह के प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं, राइट? सो हियर व्हाट इज द कंसेप्ट बीइंग टेस्टेड इन द सेकंड क्वेश्चन इज द नेशनल इनकम. सो लेट अस रीड the second question, friends. Okay, And those who have not got the PDF, please get it from Nirav Da channel, NIRAVDA. I have written in the comments section. There you can get the PDF. I have named the PDF as some questions. You can say UPSC questions for the UPSC guide channel. Okay, so we are discussing from those. We have taken 10 questions from previous year question papers of UPSC, and we are just discussing those. Okay, so if you see the second question, the national income of a country for a given period is equal to the. ओके, तो ये क्या पूछ रहा है? नेशनल इनकम पूछ रहा है एक कंट्री का क्या होगा, और हमको ऑप्शंस दिए हुए हैं. सो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन इज टोटल वैल्यू ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज प्रोड्यूस बाय नेशनल्स. कंसेप्ट हमने देखा था कि हमारे जो नेशनल्स बना रहे गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज, हो सकता है ये, हम आगे जाएंगे. सम ऑफ टोटल कंजम्पशन एंड इन्वेस्टमेंट एक्सपेंडिचर, मतलब सारा जो आप कंज्यूम कर रहे हो और इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो और उसका एक्सपेंडिचर आप कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो. ओके, दिस कैन नॉट बी द आंसर. व्हाई? बिकॉज टोटल कंजम्पशन नेशनल्स के बाहर के भी कर सकते हैं. अगर कोई फॉरेनर आके इंडिया में रह रहा है वो भी कंज्यूम कर सकता है. एफडीआई भी इन्वेस्टमेंट है, तो मतलब बी ऑप्शन तो मुझे नहीं लग रहा है सही है. ओके, सी पढ़ते हैं. सम ऑफ पर्सनल इनकम ऑफ ऑल इंडिविजुअल्स. पर्सनल इनकम हो सकता है क्या? हाँ, सबके अगर हमने पर्सनल इनकम ऐड कर दिए तो नेशनल इनकम आ सकता है. यस और नो? बट यहां पे क्या है, एक बहुत ही वेग टर्म लिखा है. वेग टर्म क्या है? सम ऑफ पर्सनल इनकम ऑफ ऑल इंडिविजुअल्स. मतलब क्या लिखा है? कोई भी इंडिविजुअल हो सकते हैं. अभी हमारा कंसेप्ट क्या हमने देखा था नेशनल इनकम का कंसेप्ट में देखा था कि सिर्फ जो नेशनल्स प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, इंडियन नेशनल्स, इंडियन सिटीजन्स, राइट? तो ऑल इंडिविजुअल्स यहां पे नहीं आएगा, तो हमने ये भी एलिमिनेट कर दिया, क्योंकि इंडिविजुअल्स कोई भी हो सकते हैं. अफ्रीका से इंडिविजुअल आ सकते हैं, या फिर फ्रांस से इंडिविजुअल आ सकते हैं, यूएसए से इंडिविजुअल आ सकते हैं, मतलब ये भी नहीं है. तो सी ऑप्शन भी हमारा यू कैन से बाहर चला जाता है. अभी बी और सी तो चले गए हैं. डी ऑप्शन देखते हैं. मनी वैल्यू ऑफ फाइनल गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज प्रोड्यूस्ड. Okay, but this goods and services can be produced by anybody, foreigners or outside people or domestic people. So D also does not sit in. So the answer here, my friends, has to be yes. Can you write it in the comment section? What can be the answer here, my friends? Can it be A, B, C, D? क्या हो सकता है इसका आंसर? What can be the answers, my friend? Yes. Can you write in the comment section? What can be the answer? Can it be A, B, C या D? क्या हो सकता है आंसर? Yes, Pranav, you have got it right. So answer has to be A. That is the total value of goods and services produced by the nationals. क्योंकि सारे goods and services भी कंसिडर कर दिए हमने और nationals का भी हमने कंसिडर कर दिया. तो इसका आंसर क्या बनता है? A बनता है. I hope you have got the concept right. Okay? So रामकिशन, इसका C नहीं होगा. पर्सनल इनकम ऑफ ऑल इंडिविजुअल्स नहीं ले सकते हम. क्यों ऑल इंडिविजुअल्स नहीं ले सकते हैं? क्योंकि इंडिविजुअल्स फॉरेनर्स भी हो सकते हैं और आपके सिटीजन्स भी हो सकते हैं. तो नेशनल इनकम मतलब ग्रॉस नेशनल प्रोडक्ट का परिभाषा, डेफिनेशन, माय फ्रेंड्स, दोस्तों, उसका यू कैन से क्या हो सकता है उसका डेफिनेशन? व्हाट कैन बी द डेफिनेशन ऑफ इट? कि वहां पे क्या हो सकता है? वहां पे सिर्फ आपके जो रेसिडेंट्स हैं उसका इनकम पकड़ना है. सो दैट इज व्हाई हमने ए ऑप्शन लिया हुआ है और सी ऑप्शन नहीं लिया है, क्योंकि ऑल इंडिविजुअल्स लिखा हुआ है. एंड इंडिविजुअल्स कैन बी एनीबडी. दे कैन बी फॉरेनर्स और दे कैन बी, यू कैन से, पीपल फ्रॉम द डोमेस्टिक. दैट इज व्हाई द आंसर हैज टू बी ए. एवरीबडी क्लियर? ओके, नाउ लेट अस गो टू द थर्ड क्वेश्चन. राइट, थर्ड क्वेश्चन इज टेस्टिंग योर कंसेप्ट रिगार्डिंग अ करंट अफेयर ऑफ दैट पीरियड, बट अगेन कॉन्सेप्ट शुड बी क्लियर. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज मोस्ट लाइकली कॉन्सिक्वेंस? Which of the following is the most likely consequence of implementing the unified payments interface? UPI implement करने का सबसे बड़ा consequence क्या होगा? ये उन्होंने पूछा हुआ है, right? So they have asked that what is the consequence of implementing unified payments interface? Everybody must be knowing about UPI. You must be using Bheem app, Google Pay, all this uses UPI, right? Okay. So if you see the first option, mobile wallets will not be necessary for online payments. Yes, this can be, you can say, little bit हो सकता है ये आंसर, सोच सकते हैं इसके बारे में. आगे बढ़ते हैं. डिजिटल करेंसी विल टोटली रिप्लेस द फिजिकल करेंसी इन अबाउट 2 decades. बहुत ही एक्सट्रीम स्टेटमेंट है. मतलब क्या बोल रहा है ये? व्हाट इज इट सेइंग? डिजिटल करेंसी विल कंप्लीटली रिप्लेस द फिजिकल करेंसी. दिस इज नॉट हैपन. यूएसए में भी नहीं हुआ है. USA being such an advanced country, everybody is using credit card, but still they use यू कैन से फिजिकल, और यहाँ पे क्या उन्होंने वर्ड यूज किया है, टोटली रिप्लेस. सो टोटली रिप्लेस बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. ऐसे एक्सट्रीम, इफ यू सी द एक्सट्रीम स्टेटमेंट्स, यू हैव टू इमीडिएटली थिंक, बी अलर्ट, एंड if those statements are not making, you can say, any important meaning, then you have to strike them down. So I think that digital currency will not, you can say, completely replace. So option has to be gone. So B option is gone. FDI inflows will drastically increase. तो आप डिजिटल करेंसी ज्यादा कर रहे हो, इसका मतलब FDI जो इन्फ्लोज है आपके बहुत बढ़ जाएंगे क्या? अगेन कोई कोरिलेशन, द कोरिलेशन इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू, यू कैन से, find that kind of correlation. So again, C option, I am not thinking that positive about the C option. Okay, and then if you see the next option जो आपका बन रहा है, that is the direct transfer of subsidies to poor people will become more effective. So again, this can also happen, but for this what is required is bank में accounts चाहिए. What do you require is bank accounts, right? And not only UPI. So people should have bank accounts. So what is the best option here? The best option here, it seems, is A. That is, mobile wallets will not be necessary for online payments, because through UPI what you are doing, your bank accounts are directly connected. आप क्या कर रहे हो? एक virtual ID बना रहे हो, UPI ID, and from your bank account you can directly transfer money into my bank account. I can transfer my money from, you can say, my bank account to your account. So answer has to be A. And what is the advantage in this? The advantage is, if we keep the, you can say, money in mobile wallets, like say for example you have kept the money in Paytm. Paytm is a mobile wallet. इसका disadvantage क्या है? इसका disadvantage ये है दोस्तों कि if you are keeping the money in your, you can say, Paytm wallets, then you don't get interest on that. If you keep the money in your bank savings account, at least you will get 3.5%, 4%, that is which you get on the savings, right? So that is why UPI is very, you can say, important. Why UPI is important? क्योंकि आपको डिजिटल आपके वॉलेट्स में पैसे नहीं रखने. You don't have to keep there. You just have to keep it in your, you can say, bank accounts. You can earn interest there, and whenever the requirement is there, then you can just transfer. And UPI is, you can say, entire thing is managed by NCPI. You should know about that also, because it is a very important topic for the prelims. Now let us go and see the fourth, you can say, question. What I have done is, I have tried to, you can say, take questions from the different areas. Okay, trends का पूछा है, agriculture का पूछा है, अलग अलग पूछा है, ताकि आपके concepts test हो जाए. Okay, so let us see the fourth one. Consider the following statements. This has been asked from the 2018 prelims, right? So consider the following statements. The first statement is, capital adequacy ratio, CAR, is the amount that banks have to maintain in form of their own funds. Till here the statement is absolutely correct. To offset any loss that banks incur if the account holders fail to repay their dues. Absolutely correct statement. So what is the concept of CAR? CAR is capital adequacy ratio. Okay, so अभी banks fail होते हैं, तो अभी देख रहे हैं हम कि what is the current news कि yes bank जो है, it is in, you can say, crisis. So that is why capital adequacy is very important. You will say that, sir, we have buffer in CRR, we have buffer in SLR, but these buffers have only been kept. These buffers have only been kept by whom? ये buffer कौन रख रहा है? Depositor money में से रखा है ना. So depositors keep 100 rupees, out of which 5 rupees might be CRR, 20 rupees might be SLR. That buffer is from the depositors money. But what about the bankers जो invest कर रहा है? The person who is investing, they should also keep some, you can say, buffer. So that buffer is CAR. That concept is capital adequacy ratio. As I have told you in the first, you can say, question itself. What is capital? The money which the investor brings, the money which the business owner brings, that is the capital. So bank is a business. If you are running the bank, you should also bring some money, right? So that money is going to be your CAR. So the first statement is absolutely correct, right? So capital adequacy ratio is the amount that banks have to maintain in form of their own funds. Own funds है, capital है, to offset any loss that the bank incur if the account holders fail to repay the dues. So first statement is absolutely correct, right? So first statement correct है. अगर option elimination you are doing and what they have asked is the correct statement, so automatically your D option goes. Are you understand? D for Delhi, the option goes. Okay. Now if you see the second, then what is the second one? CAR is decided by individual banks. That is wrong, right? So CAR is not decided by the individual banks. CAR is under the Basel Convention, and the Basel Convention, you can say Basel जो हमारा guidelines है वो कहाँ से आता है? Switzerland, some organization called as BIS, and that is being implemented by RBI. So in India, RBI would tell the banks that how much CAR they have to maintain, how much capital adequacy ratio they have to maintain. Individual banks cannot decide that. So the second statement is wrong. If you have studied CAR from any static book, this concept should be super clear to you. So second statement is wrong. So if the second statement is gone, हमारा पहले ही D for Delhi option चला गया था. Okay, C चला गया अभी. C is gone because both is not the answer, right? B is not the answer, B for Bombay. So the only answer here, my friends, has to be which one? The answer has to be A for Ahmedabad or A for Apple. I hope you have got the concept. Everybody has got the concept? Everybody? Should we move on to the next one? Okay. So let us go to the next one, my friends. Okay. So now we are almost halfway. We are seeing the fifth one, right? So let us see and solve the fifth question, my friends. So what is the fifth question? Which of the following have occurred in India after its liberalization of economic policies in 1991? So you should understand globalization or LPG, that is liberalization, privatization, globalization. Okay, so liberalization का meaning क्या होता है? What is liberalization? You are just, you can say, making your economy open to private players. You are liberalizing it. आपको आप लिबर्टी दे रहे हो. यू आर गिविंग लिबर्टी टू द प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स टू ऑपरेट. दे कैन डिसाइड व्हाट टू प्रोड्यूस, दे कैन डिसाइड एट हाउ मच टू सेल, हाउ मच टू प्रोड्यूस. एवरीथिंग यू कैन सी द प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स कैन डिसाइड. दैट इज नथिंग बट लिबरलाइजेशन. सो द कंसेप्ट हियर विच इज गोइंग टू बी टेस्टेड इन दिस इज about liberalization and what has happened after India accepted the LPG reforms in 1991. So now let us see that. First, share of agriculture in GDP has increased enormously. क्या बोल रहा है पहला स्टेटमेंट? दैट जो जीडीपी में शेयर है एग्रीकल्चर का, दैट हैज इंक्रीज्ड. This cannot be the fact because what do we study? There are three sectors in economy: the primary sector, the secondary sector, and the tertiary sector. And in India, currently, if you see the tertiary sector, that is the services sector, is contributing more than 50%. Yes or no? Agriculture is only, you can say, contributing to around 16%. Okay, rest is contributed by the industries. Okay, so 30% is contributed by the industry, 16% is contributed by the agriculture. So ये दोनों मिला के कितना हो जाता है आपका? Around 46, you can say, percentage, and rest around 55% is contributed by the service sector. तो service sector 55% हो गया, right? और हमने ये क्या, हमको सबको क्या पता होता है? What do we know? At the time of independence, agriculture was the highest contributor to the GDP. Slowly it has come down. Are you understanding this? If slowly it has come down, okay, then what we have to understand is the share of agriculture in GDP it cannot increase enormously. So the first has to be wrong. If first is gone, see how you can eliminate the options. First option, A option is gone, right? And D option is gone, right? My friends, see how you can save the time. This is UPSC question. I can give you the example. So A option is gone and D for Delhi. D option is gone. Now you have to only select, my friends, between B and C. So if you see B and C options very carefully, what you can see is 2 and 3 options are there in both, you can say, B and C options. So if I was in your place and I knew sure shot that one is not, you can say, correct, then I would have not even, you can say, wasted time to read 2 and 3. I would have directly read the fourth one and then the fourth one would have decided what can be the answer. So if you see the fourth one, let us read the fourth one. India's foreign exchange reserves has increased enormously. Yes, they have increased. LPG जो हमने किया था, the LPG when we did in 1991, my friends, we only had in foreign exchange reserves $1 billion, and that $1 billion could only last for next 3 weeks for our imports. So our foreign exchange reserve was only $1 billion. Today, if you see, we are reaching almost $500 billion. So has the, you can say, foreign exchange reserves increased enormously? Yes, they have increased. So if 4 has to be there, then the answer can be only one, and that answer has to be, yes, my friends, what can be the answer? The answer has to be B for Bombay. Okay, so answer has to be B for Bombay. Very clear. Okay, so now if you see the sixth one, right? Everybody has got the fifth question, so answer has to be B for Bombay, right? Everybody agrees with this? Everybody in the, you can say, those who are saying agree? Okay, now let us go to the sixth question, which we are going to, you can say, see. A rapid increase in the rate of inflation is sometimes attributed to the base effect. What is this base effect? So now they are testing what is the base effect. So this base effect is in relation to the inflation. For this, your topic of inflation should be very clear. What is inflation? You should understand how is inflation measured. So inflation is measured point to point, right? So last year, if you can say any good, say for example this bottle, if the price of this bottle was 100, right, and this year the price of the bottle is 110, then how is the inflation calculated? It is point to point. So what is going to be tested is, say today's date, 12th of February, right, 12th of February 2020, 12th of March 2020, and you can say this price today is 110, so it would be compared with 12th of March 2019. So that is how the inflation is calculated. So what is going to be the base? So the current price, okay, minus the last year's price. So 110 minus 100 upon 100. So what is 100? Last year's price. Okay. So your base is going to determine how much is the inflation into 100. So अगर हम यहाँ पे options देखते हैं, if you see the options, what are the first option? It is the impact of drastic deficiency in supply due to failure of crops. Inflation हो सकता है क्या? हो सकता है because of the, you can say, drastic deficiency in supply. But this does not explain you the base effect. Base effect मतलब क्या है? I have told you how do you calculate the inflation? This year's price minus the last year's price upon the last year's price into 100. So last year's price जो आपका denominator में जा रहा है, last year's price which is there in the denominator becomes the base. Are you understanding this? So first cannot be the answer. It is the impact of the surge in demand due to rapid economic growth. Again, this cannot be the answer. Now let us see the C1. It is the impact of the price levels of the previous year on the calculation of the inflation rate. So previous year Q, because previous year goes into the base. Are you understanding this? I'll just give you the example of this base effect so that your concept would be crystal clear, right? So if you just see what is the Indian economy size, roughly 3 trillion, right? So if Indian economy grows at 10%, how much it is going to add, the GDP value would be added would be around, it would be around 300 billion. If the Indian economy grows by 10%, the GDP added would be around 300 billion. And you would say that Indian GDP is growing at, you can say 10%. Now you see the US, you can say economy, it is around 20 trillions. So if USA wants to grow at 10%, it has to add the value worth. How much? The value worth how much? It has to add 2 trillion. It has to add the value worth 2 trillion, which is almost like the size of India. Are you understanding this? So if USA just grows at, USA increases the value of GDP by, you can say around 200, you can say India ने जैसे grow किया 300 billion or 200 billion, its growth is going to be very, very low. Are you understanding? Its growth is going to be very, very low. Why? Because its base is very high. Whereas the Indian base of GDP as compared to USA is very low. That is why even if we add 300 billion, it is 10%. Whereas if they add 300 billion in 1 year, their GDP growth rate is going to be very, very low. So that is the base effect. So the your answer has to be C. It is the impact of price levels of previous year on the calculation of the inflation rate. Are you understanding this? Okay, so that is how the answer comes C. We have not even read the D option. Now the seventh one, it is talking about the interest rates, right? And whenever you get the question regarding the interest rates, then you always have to think about the interest rate at which you are going to get the loans. So if the interest rate is decreased in an economy, it will interest rate reduce किया है, मतलब you are getting the loan at 12%. Okay, previously, now you are going to get the loan at 10%. So previously you are getting at 12%, you are now getting the loan at 10%. So more and more people would take the loan. More and more people take the loan. They would spend, they would invest. Are you understanding? Once they invest, more goods and services produced, more jobs produced, more demand, and that is why what is going to happen is your GDP is going to increase. The GDP growth rate is going to increase. That is why we see in last 1 year, the RBI, the monetary policy of RBI has reduced the interest rate by 135 basis points. Why? RBI wants to increase the growth GDP growth in India, right? So what can be the answer? Let us just see now that we have understood the concept. A, decrease the consumption expenditure in the economy. No, people are going to have more money. If you reduce the interest rates, more liquidity matlab more money in the hands of people. So they would buy more, they would consume more. So A cannot be there. Okay. B, increase in the tax collection of government. Can be. Increase the investment expenditure in the economy. Okay, you can say that investment expenditure would be increased. Okay, we can say that. Okay, and you can say D, increase in the total savings of the economy. So now my friends, okay, batao mere ko what can be the answer of this? A, we can surely say it is not there. B, C, D talks about the increase in tax collection, which can happen. So it is correct. So C, B can be a correct option. C, increase in the investment expenditure in the economy. Okay, and D, increase in the total savings. So what can be the answer, my friends? Anybody can come up with the answer? क्यों कर रहे हैं हम? D, total savings would be increased. No, my friend, they would you can say consume more, they would spend more. Spending more हो गया. So you cannot say that the total savings would increase. Again, total savings, why they would not increase? Because if the interest rates have reduced, okay, तो पहले अगर 12% इंटरेस्ट रेट था, अभी 10% इंटरेस्ट रेट है. इफ द इंटरेस्ट रेट इज 10%, then what is going to happen? Your interest rate on the fixed deposits are also going to reduce. So earlier fixed deposit you used to get 10%. Now you would get the fixed deposit only at 8%. Are you understanding? So why would people then invest more? So total savings might not increase. Okay. So total collection of tax of the government, yes, it can increase. See, increase in the investment expenditure in the economy. This can be the most right answer. So B is correct, but the most correct has to be C. Why the most correct has to be C? Because when the interest rate is reduced, more and more entrepreneurs will take loan. Why would they take loan? They would invest in the economy. So the probability is that investment expenditure would increase, and if the investment expenditure increases, then only the GDP growth rate increases. So why RBI is reducing the interest rates? Because it wants the private, you can say, entrepreneurs to invest in the economy. So that is why the most probable answer here has to be C. Despite C, you cannot say it, despite B, you cannot say it is wrong, but C is the most correct. So UPSC में दो answers भी correct हो सकते हैं. What you have to choose is most correct answer. That is why the answer has to be C. Okay, I hope you are liking the various combinations of questions which we have taken. They cover different topics. Option elimination we have discussed. We have discussed 2 can be the right options, but you have to correct the right, you can say 1. Okay, so all these questions, if you see the discussion again and again, you will understand the tricks of how you have to solve this 2020 prelims paper. And trust me, my friends, if your concepts are clear, you can say 100% score, 100% marks in the prelims questions which are regarding the economy. Okay, now if you see economic growth is usually coupled with, so just extension of the previous question. Economic growth कब होगा? When people would, you can say, invest more. Okay, people would demand more. People demand more, then people would, you can say, business people would produce more. Are you understanding this? So what are the options? Deflation. Deflation मतलब क्या है? Negative inflation. If negative inflation है, मतलब क्या है? Demand and supply. Okay, so if demand is less than supply, would the suppliers produce or supply more? No, they would not supply more. If they are not supplying more, how can your GDP increase? Because GDP is nothing but total values of goods and services produced in the economy. Are you understanding this? तो ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता डिफ्लेशन के वक्त. फिर हम सी ऑप्शन देखते हैं, स्टैगफ्लेशन. स्टैगफ्लेशन मतलब क्या है? इन्फ्लेशन भी बढ़ रहा है बट आपका ग्रोथ नहीं बढ़ रहा है. तो ग्रोथ नहीं बढ़ रहा है तो आपका जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट कैसे होगा? सो सी इज ऑल्सो गॉन. हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन, इट इज अ वेरी एक्सट्रीम सिचुएशन. हाइपर इन्फ्लेशन, राइट? सो यू कैन से डी कैनॉट बी देयर. ओके, so answer has to be inflation. Q inflation, demand and supply. What is one of the basic reasons of inflation? When the demand is high and you can say supply is less, it leads inflation. That is nothing but price rise. So if the demand is high, what is the message to the suppliers? You have to increase the supply. आपका सप्लाई बढ़ाओ, और सप्लाई बढ़ाने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट करना पड़ेगा. ओके, फिर आप नए जॉब्स क्रिएट करोगे, ग्रोथ होगा, एंड ऑटोमेटिकली if economic growth happens, so whenever there is inflation, there can be economic growth, but you have to understand it should be in the good range. That is why Indian inflation targeting range is what? 4% plus or minus 2%. So from 2% to 6%, which is said to be, you can say, good inflation. So what was the question? Economic growth is usually coupled with A, deflation, B, inflation, C, stagflation, D, hyperinflation. So the answer has to be B for Bombay. Are you understanding this? If you have not got the PDF, please go to Telegram channel Niravda, Niravda. You can say PDF there. We have already completed 8 questions. Now let us go to the 9th one. Okay. So 9th question. Consider the following statement. This has been asked in 2013. Inflation benefits the debtors. First statement. Second statement is inflation benefits the bond holders. So इसमें पहला concept, debtor कौन है भाई, creditor कौन है? You should be able to understand, right? Okay. So basically, debtor is the one who takes the, you can say, loan or who borrows the money. And creditor कौन है? जो देता है. You have got the credit card. Credit card मतलब क्या होता है? You have not got the money in your bank account. Still you are spending. So it is, you can say, you are spending on loan. So somebody is giving you credit and debtor is taking that credit. Okay. So inflation benefits the debtors. What is the, you can say, concept here? The Telegram channel is Niravda, Niravda. N for New York, I for Indus, R for Rajasthan, A for America, V for Vietnam, and D for Delhi, A for Ahmedabad. So if you go on that, you can say Telegram channel, you can find the, you can say, PDF of the questions which we are discussing, right? Okay. So first statement is inflation benefits the debtors. Okay. So chalo, now everybody assume. Okay. So let us assume you can say you all have taken loan from me, right? 100 rupees loan. So you have taken loan and you are going to repay me the next year. Okay. So because you are going to repay me the next year, you will give me some interest. Let us say I only charge, because you are all good students, I only charge 5% interest rate. So today you have taken the loan, that is 12th of March. Okay. That is 2020. 12th of March 2021, you will give me 105 rupees, right? Okay. So let us now consider that inflation rate next year becomes 7%. तो आज जो आप गुड्स एंड इन्फ्लेशन का मतलब क्या है? टुडे व्हाट यू आर बाइंग एट 100 rupees, next year you will have, if you want to buy the same goods and services, okay, if you want to buy same goods and services, then you will have to pay 107 rupees. Are you understanding this? Now you have taken 100 rupees from me, okay, and today if you spend the 100 rupees, you can buy the goods and services, and next year you are only going to pay me 105 rupees, right? That 105 rupees, even if I get next year, can I buy the same goods and services which I can get today at 100 rupees at, you can say, next year in 105? No, I'll have to pay how much? 107. So who the inflation has benefited? It is the debtors, those who have taken the loan. Why the debtors are benefited? Because 100 rupees you took from me, you bought the goods and services today, and next year you pay me 105, still I will not be able to buy the goods and services next year because the inflation rate is 7. So who the inflation is going to benefit? The inflation is only going to benefit, usually whenever there is high inflation, it is the debtors. Here you should know the concept between nominal interest rate and real interest rate. So nominal interest rate is the 5% which I am talking about, and you can say the real interest rate is minus, जो inflation आप minus करते हो, when you subtract inflation from the nominal interest rate, you get the real interest rate. Okay. Now the second, inflation benefits the bond holders. Not possible again. Bond holders मतलब क्या है? Today you have taken bonds from me. Say you have paid me 100 rupees. Next year I pay you 105 rupees. But the inflation is 7%. So today what you buy, you can buy at 100 rupees. Next year you will have to buy at 107. So is inflation going to help the bond, you can say, holders? It is not going to help. So the second option is gone. Second option is gone. Then automatically B is gone, C is gone. Are you understanding this? And the answer has to be A for apple. The answer has to be A for apple, right? Now the last question. The last question, my friends, I have, you can say, not you can say taken from UPSC, but it is different because most of the static books have not covered this topic. So that is why I have taken this one. So please, you can say, refer my PDF, okay, from Niravda channel and read the last question. It is a very interesting question. Okay, so the rate which the income tax is imposed in India is called as digressive. A option is digressive. B option is progressive. C option is regressive. D optional is, you can say, proportional. So can you give me the answer for this? Is the rate at which the income tax is imposed in India, is it digressive? Is it progressive? Is it regressive? Or you can say proportionate. What can be the answer for this? Okay, for this, progressive, right? So most of you must have studied. It is progressive, right? Okay, so you have to understand progressive मतलब क्या होता है कि जैसे जैसे आपका इनकम बढ़ेगा, as your income increases, okay, your income tax slab increases. So say 5 lakh you don't pay tax, 10 lakh say for example you pay 20%, 15 lakhs 30%. So that is progressive, right? Proportional मतलब क्या है? Irrespective of your income is 5 lakh, you pay 10%. Your income is say for example 10 lakhs, you pay 10%. Your income is 1 crore, you pay 10%. That is proportional. Regressive मतलब क्या है? जैसे से as your income reduces, okay, then your income tax slab increases. Exactly opposite to progressive. Okay, so most of the students क्या बोलेंगे कि इंडिया में progressive है. But the answer, my friends, is A. That is digressive. Because you need to understand that yes, in India the income tax rate is progressive till a limit. Say for example 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs को कितना है? 30%. Then you say for example earn 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs. But then it becomes proportional, right? So in India the income tax slab is mix of you can say proportional and progressive. That is why it is digressive. So these were the 10 questions, my friends. This video would be available to you on the YouTube. Please see this video, get your concepts clear. If you want to contact me, you can contact me on my Telegram channel, that is Nirav Da, or the Facebook Nirav Da. Okay, and if you have any economics related questions, please, you can say, feel free to, you can say, ask me. In economics, again I would repeat, your concepts, your application of concepts and your trends should be crystal clear. Thank you all. Just believe in yourself, work hard. If you work hard, then you would feel that you deserve to clear. The day you start feeling you deserve to clear the exam, that day you will clear the exam. So just keep working hard. Don't think about anything else. Just focus on the process, that is studies. And my friends, you would clear UPSC. UPSC is not that a difficult exam if and only if you maintain the consistency with the right direction. Okay, so best of luck, my friends, for the upcoming attempt. See you until next time. Thank you.